picked up some new makeup from Sephora. Yes, I was sucked into the Sephora sale. And this is the look I'm gonna create, so stay with me while we get into it. And you'll find out how my dog, Zoe, gave me a heart attack in the middle of filming. That was not fun. Let's get into it. Welcome back, Awakening Beauties. I took a little trip to Sephora. We're gonna try out some new products that have been a little viral lately, and I'm excited to try them. So let's get into it. So yesterday, after I filmed my video, I went to pick up my Sephora order at the brand new Sephora store that just opened in my town. Everything was so new and clean, and all the displays were barely even touched, which was so nice to swatch makeup that was all brand new. And as a result, I made some changes. I originally was going to get the new Rare Beauty soft bouncy blush in the color Happy, and I swatched it and it was way too peachy pink. As a result, I ended up getting the Makeup by Mario soft pop plumping blush veil in the color Pink Peony. I was immediately in love with this product, so very excited to try that out. I also picked up the e.l.f. Tint and Perfect in the color 03 Light, so we're gonna try that out. And then I picked up Kosas Cloud Set regular size. I have a mini of this in another color, but I decided to get the lightest color that they make, Airy, because I've heard that this is a good color to set under your eyes. The color I have, even though it's a light, one of the light shades, it still seems too dark under my under eyes, so picked up the lightest color, Airy. And this was another product that I ended up exchanging once I got to Sephora. It's Nude Merit Lip Pencil, and I had originally bought it in the color Bespoke, but then when I tested it out there, I thought it was it's a beautiful color. I may end up getting it down the line, but I felt like it was so brown, and so I exchanged it for the color Coupe. And I also got this Too Faced Quickie Queen eyeshadow stick. Very excited to try that. And I picked up the Laura Mercier lip gloss in the color 110 Macaron. So we're gonna do I wanna do a very natural look. I wanna do something very different from the purple eyeshadow look that I just did in, which was probably my previous video or 2 videos ago, depending on how these go up. So yeah, we're gonna do a more natural look than that was. And I'm gonna start with the e.l.f. Tint and Protect. It's a mineral SPF non-comedogenic. It's SPF 50. It says to shake well, apply liberally, evenly before sun exposure. Well, I would still wear sunscreen with this. So it does have a dropper. I'm just gonna put a little bit on the back of my hand. It has a very thin consistency. And then I'm gonna use my Nikki LaRose N17 to just apply this down. I hope this is the right color. I probably should have swatched it in the store, but I forgot. I just forgot while I was there. So what I've heard about this product is that it provides just a light, very natural coverage that's very comfortable and radiant. It's supposed to be a medium coverage with a natural finish. Moisturizes, heals, and soothes skin. So it's got some skin caring ingredients, got niacinamide. So that is with this half of my face done with one layer of product. I'm gonna use my tray. It does look a little pink and a little light for me. Maybe could have gone up 1 shade. Really don't know how you could get medium coverage with this. This coverage seems pretty light. But maybe it is buildable. Definitely think I need to use a sponge to sort of set it down. That's better. It's definitely very, very radiant. Of course, the lights that I have in here are always gonna make me look more shiny as well. I'm gonna leave that there. I might go in with a little more in a little bit. I just wanna see how this kind of dries down for the next couple of minutes. Hey, I just wanna remind you, if you're not subscribed, maybe you think you're subscribed, why don't you go and check below to make sure you're subscribed? Because something like 85% of you aren't actually actually subscribed, all you silent stalkers watching my video. And also hit the notification bell so you know right when I upload. Generally, it's only once, sometimes twice a week. I do throw in some shorts though throughout the week when I have time. All right, thanks for checking. And don't forget to also like this video because it really helps. Now, back to the video. And in the meantime, I'm gonna go back in with my Catrice Under Eye Brightener, which I tried for the first time in that last video without all the purple eyeshadow. I'm gonna see how this looks without all the purple, because I felt like it was maybe reflecting some of the purple in the eyeshadow, like an optical illusion. And then I thought, well, if I have a lot of blue in my inner corner and this little part here of my under eye, and this is pink, blue and pink does make lavender. And I had said, this looks lavender. So color theory, huh? Maybe it was actually turning a little bit lavender. The other thing I think is that with that Tear foundation that I used with it, it was pretty heavy and full coverage. And that was something lighter and more skin-like that maybe, you know, it's gonna look better on a different combination of face products. I am building it up a little bit. It looks like it's building up pretty good. I do feel like that's a good base color for my eyelid to take down some of the red on my eyelid. Okay, so far so good. Keeping with the brightening theme, I'm gonna use the Glimmer Concealer from Revlon. Been enjoying this product. It was recently released. I think that's done a pretty good job of creating a very natural look with my under eye coverage. I'm gonna use the setting powder from Catrice and do the technique that I did in my last video where I set a bit of it with this powder brush. I just lightly set it, just taking a little excess off the back of my brush. Just lightly set it first. Ooh, I was gonna use my Kosas. What am I thinking? What was I thinking? I don't know. It's not too late. We can still go in with the Kosas. So this is just a very blurring, very light color. You can't even see it on the back of my hand. That's the color. So I'm gonna do that same technique that I just did, but I'm gonna lightly tap in the Kosas. I don't know what I was thinking. I forgot all about the Kosas. And then I'm gonna go in with a powder puff. I'm not gonna take credit for this technique. I saw Stephanie Marie demonstrate this technique on a recent video. And then I tried it out for myself with some of my other product. And I thought, well, that worked actually pretty good. Good tip. My skin looks kind of very, very radiant with this. And I am going to take some of that down with this powder, very blurring, mattifying powder. But I hope some of that radiance still shows through. I don't want to look too mattified, and I think I will. Just gonna do a little sculpting with my Westman Atelier Face Trace Contour Stick in the color Biscuit. My husband went with me over to Sephora yesterday, and he was so funny because I was swatching a bunch of different things, lip products and blushes on the back of my hand, and just kind of walking from section to section, right? And then I was like, yeah, I think I like this one the best. Let me go back and take a look at that one again. And he's like, how do you even remember which one is which? They all look so similar. And he's like, I can't believe you know all these products. And I'm like, I can't either. I'm getting to know, you know, the more I make content and the more I research and watch other content creators, I am getting to know my products, so it's very exciting. But it's also like, I talked a lot in that video about the world situation. And I mean, to me, makeup is so much fun. It's like, it's sort of an escape from the problems. And it goes back to what I talked about earlier in the year about not buying clothes or makeup for your fantasy self. But it's so fun. The fantasy self is fun to explore, and we don't get enough of that. I'm almost like rethinking what I was saying about that, because on one hand, and I'm just using the Infallible bronzer, on one hand, you know, we don't want to overconsume. We don't want to waste money. We don't want to get into debt buying things that we're not going to use. And I totally get that. And I've been in that situation myself where I'm like, God, I put myself in so much debt, and what do I have to show for it? Just a bunch of clothes and shoes. And we don't get to play enough in this culture, this world that we're in. We're adulting constantly. And one of the things that I love about doing improv comedy, if you don't know, I do improv comedy. I have a separate YouTube channel called Robin Freebird where I've begun putting up a bunch of my different performances up there. I used to have them on this channel, but I switched that over so that I could just focus on beauty and fashion on this channel. But I love that I can sort of be whoever I want to be when I'm doing improv. And in some ways, it's interesting. It's like fulfilling a part of the fantasy self to become different characters. I've had several people lately tell me that when they watch me perform, that like I transform into a complete person. And they're like, I don't know where that comes from, but you just become this complete person. And it's like, it's so much fun for me. And that's what makeup also is, and fashion and clothing is exploring different aspects of our personality and being a different person for a day. We're not really a different person, but just getting out of our comfort zone and trying something new. And it may fail. That's what we say in improv, fail spectacularly. You may fail spectacularly. Your makeup may look a mess, but you may learn something from that. You may learn how to evolve a technique. You may end up wearing colors that really suit you, like the purples. I feel like now I'm really interested in exploring more purple. Trying a new color. I just got this chocolate brown linen shirt from Old Navy, and it's cropped. It's a cropped length. And I'm embracing that because that is what is on trend right now. And I'm embracing different shapes in my clothing. I know this is a makeup video, and I'm going off on a tangent, but I've started to embrace new silhouettes for myself. I'm even thinking about a barrel pant. I've never wanted or thought about a barrel pant before, but I may end up doing it. I don't know. We'll see. So Too Faced just released these eyeshadow sticks, and I got the color Fairy Dust. And they're a sparkling cream eyeshadow stick that goes on smoothly and lasts all day long. This is the color. It's really a beautiful, beautiful pink. I love that. I'm just gonna work one eye at a time. My husband just got home from paintball. That's really, really pretty. You guys, I just had a heart attack. I feel like I'm gonna cry right now. I thought Zoe, my dog, was dead. My husband just got home. She was laying right over here in the room. And I said, Daddy's home. Her eyes were open. She didn't move. And I said, Zoe, Daddy's home. And normally she would jump up. She didn't move. She didn't blink an eye. It didn't even look like she was breathing. And then with panic, I was like, Zoe, Zoe. And I like touched her and she jumped up. And the thing is, she's getting older. She's almost 12. And I know that our time is coming to an end. And I'm trying to enjoy every single day we have with her. Sorry to get emotional. Thank you for understanding. I know you do if you have pets. Okay, back to the fantasy stuff. Okay, that was scary. All right, and my husband comes running because he hears me, the panic in my voice. And he was like, oh my God, you okay? I was just like, I just thought she was dead. I thought she just laid down over there and passed away. So this is sort of like a scattered lights kind of look. It's not like super pigmented. And it's just very fairy-like the name. It's very pretty, but it's supposed to like set down and then last all day. It's kind of got a cool feeling to it, so like it feels pretty wet when you put it on. I'm not sure if I'm gonna just keep it like this or if I want to add a little bit of contrast in my crease. I might take the Natasha Denona and just take like this mesh color and do a little bit of contrast in my crease just to add a little bit of depth. That's the thing, I have dogs. We've already lost a couple, and you know they're not with you forever. And she's been acting a little spacey at times, as they sometimes do as they get older. She's had to have a surgery recently, and we're trying not to have any more surgeries. She had a really bad cyst on her back that was on the outside and it was leaking. It was a fluid-filled cyst, and it was just, I know, TMI maybe. It was pretty gross and uncomfortable for her and uncomfortable for us. So we did have it surgically removed. And let me tell you, the incision on her back was about 5 inches long. I couldn't believe it when I picked her up. So this is the color Chocolate from Persona. It's a gel liner that it's really nice. You have time to work with it. And I'm gonna use this brush that I got off of Amazon, and I love this brush. It's super, super thin, and you can really create a nice thin wing. You've got a lot of control with it. This is just a really nice brush. So yeah, she's been doing some things lately that are not like her, that are just a little off, like that. You know, you wonder if they're getting a little senile or something. So this CL, I feel like I just want to go in with a sponge and just pick up a little bit that's left on here and just see. I know I've already done my bronzer, so maybe not the best idea. That's probably not a good idea because I did powder as well. I'm a little frazzled now. It's kind of hard to continue making this video. Everything is fine, everything is fine. Just have to tell myself everything is fine. All right, I am going to use a powder puff to try to set the rest of my face. For brows, I'm going to use this NYX Blade and Shade, which I find is probably one of the most natural looking colors that I have right now. Some of the other ones are a little bit bolder, a little darker, and I'm trying to keep this to be like a natural everyday kind of look. But this is that color on the back of my hand, and as you can see, it's not going anywhere. I'm rubbing and rubbing. It is scattering some of the glitter particles slightly, but that main color didn't go anywhere. So this is, again, the Makeup by Mario Soft Pop Plumping Cream Blush Veil. And it is a weightless cream blush that is made with hyaluronic acid to hydrate and plump skin with a sheer veil of color. Finish is radiant, formulation is cream. It is light coverage. And what was so interesting about it was that it felt like it was a cream to powder formula. Once it went on my hand, once I was swatching it, it felt like it turned to a powder. But it's definitely a cream. So I'm just gonna start with my fingers. That's really pretty. And it is sheer, but buildable, and it is radiant for sure. But it looks so bright in the pan, but you can see that on the skin, it's definitely not, you know, so jarring. And I don't know that you could build it up to quite this bright or quite this deep. Let's just see, we're playing. In a way, this reminds me of the Morphe Euphoric formula, but a little more sheer than that one. And I have a really dark color, I forget the name of it, but I have a really deep, like purple color in that. But that's very pretty. It's very pretty. I am gonna powder a little bit around it just to set it a little bit. All of this is very, very radiant, but I'm here for it. For the lip liner, again, I picked up this Merit lip liner. It's a lip sheer lip liner. And this is sort of kind of reminiscent of the new Rhode lip liner. It's described as a non-drying buildable lip liner that creates soft definition or sheer all over color for comfortable, hydrated, and natural looking lips. I did put this on yesterday when I got home, and as much as it is sort of almost like a lipstick formula, and you can really sheer it out, once it sat down, it actually did stay in place. I've heard other people say it doesn't have long staying power, but for me, it actually, I did feel like it sat down and stayed in place. I can see I will probably go through this very fast. I think this is a product that you would go through pretty fast. I should have kept that bespoke color, especially now when I look at what I'm wearing today with the brown. It is very different from any product I've ever owned as a lip product. That is quite different, but yeah, very nourishing, very comfortable on the lips. I can feel it it's very nourishing and hydrating. So I really like that. And last but not least, this Laura Mercier lip gloss in the color Macaron. And this is just supposed to be a very sheer and glossy. Oh, and it smells like cotton candy. It smells delicious. There's like gold flecks in this that is really, really pretty. Don't know if it's picking up on there. That Too Faced, there are glitter particles all over my hand from where I put that on. I have a feeling they might travel. They might travel onto my face. Yeah, my eyes creased a little bit. Shedding a few tears probably didn't help. Oh, I didn't do any mascara. Let's see, what was I gonna do for mascara? Oh, I'm gonna go back with the Lash Idole from Lancome. Boy, I'm glad I hadn't already put on my mascara when Zoe gave me a heart attack. She just came and laid up against the door. That is a welcome sound. I love that mascara. Definitely one of the best ones I've tried in a long time. Just trying to get my hair to look a little bombshell-like. I don't know that I achieved that, but simple makeup, simple, clean, pretty pink makeup with bombshell hair. That's what I was going for. Did I achieve the goal? That's the question. Okay, well, here is the look. I'm pretty happy with the way that this look turned out. It fit my agenda for what I was trying to achieve. The e.l.f. Tint and Perfect, Tint and Protect, not Perfect, Tint and Protect. This remains to be seen. I think it's very pretty. It's very natural looking. I don't know if I'm gonna prefer this over the L'Oreal Nude Match. This is a little bit dark for me. I did self-tan on my face, and I thought that this looked better with the self-tan because it does lean a little bit too dark for me, but I'm not sure that I like this better than that. I'm gonna have to use it a few more times, and I will pin a comment below, as I always do with my current thoughts. This Too Faced eyeshadow stick, again, this is gonna have to be something that I'm gonna have to track how it wears and make sure that these glitter particles don't travel down to below my eye. And but I think this is really pretty. It's very ethereal, very fairy-like for sure. It's a very nice formula. It's very creamy, and it was easy to work with. And this Makeup by Mario blush, this is very pretty. It does feel, like it didn't dry down as dry as I thought it was, as dry as it felt on the back of my hand. And I'm wondering if it's because it's on top of the e.l.f. and if it would dry down, if it would be a little, it's not going to be matte because it is a radiant finish. But yeah, I really like it. I think that's very pretty. Yeah, I'm gonna have to wear it and give more thoughts later on. And the Kosas, it's a really good powder. I did want to try this color because the other one I had was too dark, but in the minis, they only had 4 color options. I might prefer my Charlotte Tilbury a little bit more, but I think this is a pretty good formula. The New Merit lip liner, this is really good. This is very unique kind of formulation, and I'll have to see if it has staying power. I felt like it did stay yesterday on my lips, but let's see how it wears for the rest of the day, and I'll let you know. This is a beautiful, beautiful lip gloss in a very light blue leaning with gold speckles. I love this, and it smells like cotton candy. This is what the L'Oreal Infallible lip gloss that I wore in a recent video. I wish that it tasted and smelled like this. It has a similar texture, it has a similar shine, it even has the sparkles in it, but why can't they fix that smell? Ugh. And then these are also new. I've only worn them one other time in my last video. I think for drugstore, man, this for the price, these work really well. I mean, these compete with the higher end things that I've tried for under eye correctors and setting powder. So very happy with that. All right, well that does it for me, and I'm gonna get out of here and go and just calm myself down. Everything's fine. Everybody's fine. Everything's fine. Nothing bad happened. She better never do that to me again. I have enough grays as it is. All right, guys. Until next time, I love you so much. I hope you're doing great. And you know what? You are doing great.